Hey, hey, finally we start plowing into a little bit of technology. GrampyJAG coming to you from living in a Dcraft world, Omicron edition, available on CurseForge. So why don't you jump in, join a game, and follow along with me as we go through these various and sundry eps while we do this stuff. Yeah, I know, that was bad. Anyhow, since the last time you were here, I built a wall. It's a little safer now, so I can walk around necessarily without my armor. I got my armor in my pack, but yeah, I can get around without my armor. So now I look in my nice clothes. Anyhow, last episode we saw how to, is it an episode or what? I don't know what to call it. We went fishing to get fish oil. We treated some wood. We compressed some cobblestone. And we created the stone shaping machines, which you will remember. Oh, yeah, and I've been taking out the fence and such. Get a little more room. You'll remember we made all these good things. And having this allowed us to get this stele up here, allowed us to get the Type 1 extended crafting table, which opens up a lot more technology. So this is one of your choke points here. Getting the lapidary stuff and then building this. So, what are we going to do next? We're not going to eat corn, that's for sure. Let's look at our to-do list. We found the permanent base. We got Type 1. Caminite blend, we're not quite there yet. Neither are we quite there with Caminite bricks. The Ember core, again, need the bricks and such first. But what we can do, we can build the Embers Ancient Codex, which tells us about all the fun stuff you can do in Embers. And we can get the Buildcraft guide, because in order to run the Ember Bore, I'll get it right yet, you're going to need redstone engines, and you're going to need a way of piping fuel in and piping Ember out. So we're going to need Buildcraft pipes. Or we could probably go and use Ember pipes, but yeah, either way is fine. I'll show you both, because we're going to use the Ember pipes over on things like the melter, the stamper, etc. We're also going to look at the Ember emitter. I don't think that's spelled right. Emiter. Yeah. 1 M, 2 T's. I can't spell. The little devices that let you transmit and receive ember pulses. The melter, which takes your ore and turns it into, well, melted ore or metal. The stamper, which allows you to get your metal out in solid form. We can press ingots. And ember pipes to move everything around. The end point being dawnstone. See, nothing here. That's because we're going to go backwards. When we get let's fix this. It's driving me crazy. So, to get started, let's put ye old, no, I don't want Caminite yet. Let's put this page up here. Let's put ye old, get on there, ye old clipboard up there with a couple of things that we want to build, like the Ancient Codex. So, over here in the project boxes, this is the Ancient Codex, which is the 2 archaic bricks, and the Ancient Motive Core, of which I have only obtained 1. I did not get another one when I did battle with a second column. So this gives us our Ancient Codex, and this is kind of funky cool. Look at this. We got animations, and it has all kinds of... We start out with natural energy, machinations of fire, and this is not entirely clear on how to use these parts. So I do advise you go out and find the bit by bit for embers preferably the older one if it's still up, because this is the older embers. Metallurgic constructs, transmutation, which is kind of like magic but not, and augment smithing, which lets you build things to add on to things. So starting, raw materials. Deep in the vaults of the solid earth, the novice digger may find many useful minerals such as copper, lead, silver, and quartz. Copper has many applications as a conductor, lead as a dull and malleable metal, silver as a channeler for the arcane. So it is considered a magic mod, but it's not. It's a little different. The Dwemer. Do you know who the Dwemer are? It's out of one of their video games. It's more like stuff the Dwemer created. Quartz as well proves a good source of raw crystalline matter. So you're going to burn some quartz in order to make some of the things in here. And this leads you into the different things you need. You have to have a tinker's hammer. Have to. One of the simplest mechanisms necessary for your ambitions is the pipe. So this is all about your pipage. You have developed both iron and lead pipes. From pipes can be used to transport fluids, while iron pipes can transport fluids, while lead pipes can be used to transport items. We're going to be using both. Pipes can only insert into tanks or into inventories. However, to extract, you must craft a corresponding pump. So the way this works is your source thing, whether it be water or items, you attach a pump, you attach the appropriate pipe, and then you pipe it into the appropriate receiver, which is an inventory or a tank of some sort. It does require a redstone signal, so you have to put a lever on it. And this can get kind of ugly when you've got multiple things coming off the same central area and you got levers everywhere, and sometimes they will influence each other. So that is something to be aware of. Atmospheric gauge, evidence basis on this hot metal stone deep in the earth, or the glowing heat sustained by the strange golems you fight. You have come to believe that at the center of your world lies a powerful energy source. Using some copper and iron, you will have found a way to create a device capable of measuring the density of this energy, henceforth referred to as Ember, at a certain position in the world. So, you don't need this, but it can be helpful. Right now, we're going to put it where we're going to put it, and we're going to get what we're going to get. We ain't going to worry about maximizing at this point. Later on, we can make one of these and find a better location. Dials. Okay. Ember and fluid dials, and they are attached to their respective containers. Each dial will graphically display the contents of the container when you look at it. That said, the fluid dial sometimes gets a little quirky. So these are the 4 things you can start with. So we're going to need to make a hammer. We're going to need to make pipage. And we're going to need to do this. You see over here? Diggy hole. While bedrock may halt your downward advances, it will not halt your machines. The Ember Bore must be fueled with normal furnace fuel items. So that's wood, sticks, coal, charcoal, all your basic burnables. They must be placed at a position where the blades of the bore can touch bedrock. So we're going to set it right on a bedrock block. When fueled, the bore will dig at the ember crystals from deeper in the earth for your future use, hoppers and other item transporters must be used to extract or insert the fuel and crystals from the bore. Which reminds me, we're going to need an additional guppy. I think this is it. Nope, that's the storage bin. Nope, that's a steam chamber. That's the activator. What do we use the steam chamber for? Oh, this is the pressure refinery. Okay, that's not what we need. What we need is the mechanical dealy whooper dooper thing, which... So we need to build another mechanical core. We're going to build one, but we're going to need to build a second so we can access the Ember Bore and hook up the bins, which I forgot to set up. So I'm not certain if I even have the materials for that at the moment. So we're going to stick sticky bookie in the crate here. Yeah, I probably don't have enough lead. I'll probably have to cook down some more lead. Next project. This is your Buildcraft book. There are lots of books in this game. Books, tomes, manuals, you name it. So you get a wooden gear by putting 4 sticks in the plus areas with the center empty. And then this creates the Buildcraft guidebook. Boom, boom, boom. Buildcraft. Lore show hints. Loaded mods. Buildcraft core, Buildcraft energy, Buildcraft factory, Buildcraft silicon, Buildcraft transport. So those are what we have loaded in this pack. It goes through the various things very simply. You have 3 engines. You have the redstone, which is the smallest and does not do a lot of work. It basically runs your pipes. That's pretty much the only use it has now. It used to be you could chain 80, 90 of these together and actually get Buildcraft power out of them. You can't do that anymore. I believe that was an old 1.10.7 thing. Stirling engine is the next thing up. This is a solid fuel engine, so you'll need charcoal to run it. And when you get gasoline or liquid fuel, you can use the combustion engine. Okay. Floodgate is an amazing thing if you need to fill, like, say, a nuclear reactor with cryothium or something along that line. Or if you've done some digging and you want to refill the water in a lake or something. Pumps are necessary. The tanks are rudimentary. The mining well is generally used as part of something else, although it can be used on its own. It's very limited. The distiller and the heat exchangers are for making your fuels, your liquid fuels from the oil that's around. These guys, again, they have their issues when they start getting complexes built. They can get confused. Then you got your various gears, which stone gear, you got wood gear plus cobblestone. You're also going to need a wrench. So we're going to need some iron and a stone gear. How do we go back? Do we not go back? We only go forward. Okay. So these show your different recipes for different things that you can make. I guess we go all the way back to the beginning. The beginning of the begin. power adapter. Pipe pulsar is useful to upgrade from powering wooden pipes with engines, but it seems lacking. It would be useful if the existing power grid and engines could be used to power extraction pipes at a higher speed. So I'm thinking you might be able to use Buildcraft, or not Buildcraft, but Redstone Flux. That is not how it works. Used to be you could run a lot of this stuff with Redstone Flux, all the machines directly, and like the quarries, and they have since moved away and having you use the engines. This might be a throwback to that time. I'll have to look into it a little more. It's still not how it works. Yeah, that's exactly what it looks like it's doing. So it will this is probably a redstone and RF acceptor. No, it is not. So that's good to know. Really wish we didn't have to restart this every time. Triggers, basic, always on. Marker connector. Paintbrush, path mark, wrench. Pipes. Doesn't have anything beyond that. What is a marker connector? Finer control over the areas that your machines work is vital in any large-scale engineering project, and you need a tool to control that. Use the marker connector, hold it in your hand, and click any laser box you want to adjust, and move your cursor to adjust it. To click it again to stop the adjusting. You can shift-click laser boxes with the marker connector in hand. Wonder what that actually means. Can you use this instead of actually putting the markers out? Seems like Buildcraft is getting a tad more automated. A little more esoteric. I actually kind of like the fact that everything was hands-on with Buildcraft. And we will probably continue to do it that way, as a hands-on kind of thing. I know what I wanted to see. Pipes. Do we have anything about pipes? Shoot. Pluggables, pipes. Alright, just basic things about pipes. So your kinesis pipes carry power from your engines. Pipe sealant makes them fluid pipes. Redstone in them makes them power pipes. It's not going to tell me what the stone pipe is, which is what I really was interested in. I don't remember what the stone pipes do. I think they're just a faster version of the cobblestone pipes. So that's the next thing we're going to launch into. We're going to make some pipes. So we're going to start with the wooden pipe, which is used to put power into things, or take things out. I think it's the extraction pipe is what it's called. Yes, extraction. So it would take power out of an engine, or it would take items out of an inventory. It has to be powered, and it has to be connected as basically the first thing in the chain. So we're going to build some of those. Because that's what's going to connect to our inventory, or go from inventory to inventory, and it's hard to see them in this. We need clay pipes. I believe these are the insertion. Yes, the insertion pipes. So once you've got whatever it is you're transporting, you need to be able to put it into the system somehow, and that's what you use the clay pipes for. And some of these may eventually become power, or the redstone that's added to them. Cobblestone, it's a transport pipe. It's the most basic. It seems to me stone is a higher throughput rate. This is like your most basic, slow thing. If you don't mind how long something takes to get there, use a cobblestone pipe. You want something a little bit better, you go with stone. Now what I wanted was gold, but I can't make the gold pipes yet. I don't have bronze, and you need bronze and such for that. These are your basic, very basic pipes that don't require any special materials. So there we go. We are all set for that when we need it. Up here, this is a piston. So your 3 planks, 4 cobblestone, a redstone, and an iron shaft. We need 2 of those to make the redstone engines we're going to need. So now have 2 pistons. And we want to make a redstone engine, so redstone engine is going to take some gears, some glass, some planks, and the pistons. So what do we have here? I'm going to need to get planks. So there I've got planks. Do I have any extra? Probably don't need them. So how many is that? We're making 2, so we need 4 gears. So there's our 4 gears. I need a couple pieces of glass. Glass, gears, piston, and we've got the planks. So there are our 2 redstone engines. And every redstone engine needs a lever. So a lever, this is very basic. A lever is a stick and a chunk of cobblestone. Yay. Okay, so there we have the basics for the transport system. We will need a couple of inventories, which let's make those right now. And we're going to use chests at this juncture. So there are the chests. So what's left? This guy. And this. I'm going to need a second mechanical core. So let's see what's involved. Because this is the bore, and then we need the mechanical core to connect it to all the other stuff we just made. So that is your lead plate iron with a compass, which is iron. We might actually be able to... No, I need 4 pieces to get a plate. So I need to cook down some lead. There's some lead. There's some lead. Cook all this down. And we'll put half in there. The other half there. That stack and the other half of that stack. I am going to have to make more wood at this rate. So let's just grab some planks. Where is that Brazilian? Did I use all that Brazilian? Looks like I did. Okay, we'll use oak. Because I am going to need planks, and I am going to need more sticks down the line. So now we have those available. In the meantime, we got our lead nuggets. Remember, the whole reason we're going through this entire rigmarole is so we don't have to deal with nuggets anymore. Okay. And I already made the Tinker's Hammer, and I think we looked at that in one of the previous, but in case. So for embers, this is how you're going to use this guy to make plates. You're going to turn things on and off. This is basically your wrench for this mod. And like I say, you'll be able to physically make plates. It is quite expensive, thank goodness. We really only need a few. So, come over to the crafting table. I need 4 ingots. And the hammer gets me a plate. Yeah, that went fast, didn't it? So put that up there. Oops, that's the wrong box. Put that up there, put that up there. Alright, so the rest is redstone and iron, and I need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, which is going to run me almost out of iron as well. Oh, and a redstone. Seems like we have a lot of redstone. We don't. We're going to be using a lot of that as time goes on. So, I believe it is for the compass. Yes. And there's the mechanical core. Our second one. Let's put that down here with components. And that leaves us with the last thing, which is the Ember Bore. Oh, it's Caminite, not... Oh, God. How did I make that mistake? Alright, we're going to make Caminite first. That's right, I was using those for space holders. So to get Caminite bricks, we need Caminite blend, and that is going to be a gravel, 2 clay, 2 sand, and 4 tin. So I am going to need a minimum of 3 of each of those. 3 for the recipe. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And gravel is 1, 2, 3. And this has to be done in the type 1 basic crafting table. What are we missing? You're supposed to let me do it with any sand. Are you telling me you won't let me do it with white sand? Is it because white sand is gypsum? It does not like the white sand. Well, for Snickers and Doodles. Good thing I got some regular. Let's try this again. There we go. Now we got our Caminite. There's a reason why I built 4 of these. So when you're in a hurry, it helps. If I've done my math right, we should have everything we need. Don't know if I did my math right. Nope, I didn't. I need double that. So let's re-up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3. And 12 of the tin. So you see why I said we needed mountains of tin. Just to get this one thing, we have already used a chunk of the tin that we have mined. We may need to go back and go through another hill. Depends. We can get the melter and such up. If we can have enough tin to get the melter and the stamper up and the pumps, then we could be in good shape. Because if we get tin, we'll get a better yield. Instead of getting 3 nuggets, we'll get 1 ingot. So 3 times as much. Alright, now we need to turn these into blocks. And we need to turn these blocks into stairs. Oof, and we have exactly what we need. So, let's get the rest of the goodies. And let's make us a, well, that's a Caminite ring, I don't want that. An Ember Bore. Well, that didn't come up. There we go. So now we have an Ember Bore, and it is time for me to put my armor on 1 so I have space. 2 so we can fit all this good stuff in here. And I am going to need 1 more space. Can you guess why? Fuel. Just take 1 stack at this point. So now we come down into the depths of the mine to where we dug that little room to get to the bedrock. Okay, we're going to move that. We're going to put you right on the bedrock. And look at that, we get this monstrosity. Now I did this in part because I want to dig this out. These are the little rotors they're talking about. So if you leave this open, you can see it working. So this is your in-out. It's the only thing in and out, which is why you need something to differentiate and shoot off and receive in different directions. So this is where the mechanical core comes in. On this side, we are going to insert on this side, we are going to extract. And between those, we are going to transmit or transport. What am I using here? Well, that's cobblestone. Let's see what the stone does. Did I grab the stone ones? Thought I did. Apparently I didn't. Let's run up, get the stone. There's much better pipes later on, and once we get enough diamonds, we should be able to build a quarry and power it so that we can get large amounts of materials. Okay, and this time we are going to reverse. So here we're going to extract, and I'm going to need to make this a little taller so that we have clearance. There we go. So there's our inventories. So this will be putting the fuel in. So let's put the fuel in there so we have an extra spot. We are going to need to give this some power. So we need our redstone engine, and we're going to need our redstone engine, and each engine is going to need a lever. Turn that one on, and we should see charcoal in just a moment. There we go. So now the charcoal's in. The machine is running. You can physically see the machine is running, and you're getting power off of it. You're getting smoke. So it does take a little bit, especially if you do not have a rich spot, which is what that little compass thing is for, was to find a better location for Ember. So it does not look like we have a terribly rich. Yeah, there's our first one. Oof. So that's an Ember shard. You also get Ember crystals. Right now I am not worried as long as we are collecting something. Let's go get more charcoal. And we're going to be using a lot of charcoal, so we're going to need to ramp up charcoal production. Which means more wood, bigger pit, yada yada yada. Still don't know where I put that. So I have more charcoal over at the other base, but this will get us going. I'll probably have another batch up long before this is used up. And remember, I could put wood, I could put sticks, I could put whatever up there as long as it's burnable. You can use it in a furnace, you can use it here. We got a crystal. Look at this. We are in business. We can make power. So the next thing I'm going to do is set up the way to convert ember crystals and shards into power, transmit it, and utilize it to make ingots out of our various ores. So, you know what that means. Oh my god, I look like a Borg again. You know what that means. We got to take the helmet off, because who wants to look at that? There we go. So, you know what that means? I'm going to be busy off camera getting parts together for machines, running charcoal, a few other little doodads to get us further along. Probably need to get more lead, get more iron. So, I will be a little bit, and I will see you the next time. Oh, I know what we can do. You know what we forgot to do? Oh, awesome. Awesome-ish Armageddon-ish. Check. 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 Yeah, this is what we'll be working on for next time. We need dawnstone. Once we get dawnstone, we can get iron production up and running. Unfortunately, the melter and the ember system can't handle the iron. So we're still going to be doing nuggets for a bit. But this is where we're heading. We get the dawnstone, we will be able to make iron. So, I don't know why I did that. Spastic fingers. You know how it is. You know how it is. We're going to dig up more pretty rocks, and hopefully in the next couple of weeks we'll start installing pretty rocks over at the new base so we can make a pretty base and show you how fun it is to actually build. Because remember, this is a building mod. We do not want to go with square box walls, which is exactly what I did. But yeah, we don't want to do square boxy walls. We want to have colors, textures, columns, entryways. We want it to have a little personality and style, not just a box in the middle of, well, wherever you happen to land. Which I understand, beginning, that's about all you can do. It's hard to go and be creative when there is no materials, there's no time because you're gathering materials, or you are running away from critters and or dying. Yeah, it's rough at the beginning. So, catch you next time. Bye.